We will start in 5 minutes based on our schedule 7 o'clock time. So let me give some time for everyone to join. Today, 1 hour is going to be very exciting. We are going to discuss about lean manufacturing. Mostly, focus will be how to implement lean thinking in our business and how you can think about the value stream in terms of the total business. 3 minutes more. If you are listening me first time, please comment in the comment box. Okay, friends, now it's 7 o'clock, so we will start our today's session. Thanks for joining. It's going to be very enjoying, and I'm expecting. Uh, Hello, Sok. Thanks for joining. So the today's session, as we discussed, this is about lean. Lean is about how we can identify waste in our process in our business, and by identifying how we can eliminate and move forward in terms of achieving our business goals and objective. So before we jump into, let me introduce myself. Let me introduce myself. I am Chandan Kumar. I am professor in Cambodia and basically teaching all IE and IE merchandising courses, and also I am Lean and Six Sigma expert. I started my career in 2000. It's a long roller coaster mm, tenure, and I have seen many ups and downs and involved in many businesses in terms of achieving the lean mindset in the factory culture, mostly part of manufacturing. Since last 6 to 7 years, uh, I started teaching various students who wanted to join the garment and apparel industry. So that is about me, and let's start. So every business have a process in place for making and selling product and services. The more familiar you are with those processes, and the more effectively they can be managed and improved. So, in terms of lean, value stream is a tool where you can implement and understand your whole holistic approach. How many process or activity you do in your business that's really adds value. So the value stream maps are critical for documenting and analyzing business processes, identifying precisely where value added occurs, and perhaps more important is where it does not. When you create a value stream, you actually acknowledge one critical fact, and that is time cannot create it. Once it is spent, it is permanently lost. So the time is critical value in terms of our running our business effectively. Additionally, sorry, my throat is a bit stuck today. And additionally, you must understand that inventory depletes resources. The more inventory you have, the more resources in terms of time, money, uh, manpower. So they need to supervise your inventory. So these components that are taking up a space also in your warehouse are a waste of a space in terms, and they are costing you something each month to keep. After all, you paid for them in advance. Any inventory is stuck in your process, and if you are not utilizing them, you do not require them, and they provide no value. Additionally, value stream maps documents resource utilization. These resources could be employees, time, or they could be raw material you are processing. One caution note before we begin our analysis in lean: only a small amount of time is spent adding value. If you see something like 120 seconds out of 35 days, it will not alarm us. This is normal. However, It is something to consider in terms of process improvement, and the entire purpose of this exercise is to improve process. That's why we need to go the path of lean concept, lean manufacturing. In lean, you begin by quantifying the characteristics of your resources. Those may include personal and utilization in other words, the percentage of time allotted to a task that is actually used. Additionally, you can identify processes, process bottlenecks, and the primary objective of developing a lean value stream map is to pinpoint the area of improvements. This may entail reducing time or more effectively allocating your manpower, the manpower allocation. A value stream map that accurately depicts your process enables you to accomplish this and much more than that, such as you see your entire process in one piece of A3 paper. So you actually could able to see your the whole business from, if you are doing manufacturing, from a start receiving raw material until all the resources have been passed through until the shipment date. So the value must, why we need to create a lean value stream map. Value stream maps are valuable process analysis tool, but it does not make sense if I not give you example. So I will go with the example. I will take a garment factory example. Let's say the garment factory name is XYZ, and the buyer is Lean 22. So before I start Lean, we need to know what type of information do we need to capture to create a lean value stream map. The first is customer demand. Customer demands, we need to understand the pace, at what pace we need to finish our goods. In one piece, how much time we really need to produce. In lean, that we call tag time. We will get that information passed to us from outside, from the customer. So if customer give you 20,000 piece order quantity and you have 20 days to finish, it means per day you need to have 1,000 pieces in a day. And if you are working 8 hours, it means uh, per hour you need to have 2,000 divided by 8, right? So it will be around 200 something pieces. And based on that, you can calculate per piece how much time you really need, what is your tag time in order to meet your customer demand. So we will also include information such as information flow and material flow in order to move the production until the shipment date. You can't document an entire process all the way through the supply chain. You can, but you can't do in a single slide, right? If you want to make this, you need maybe 10 to 20 slides. But the value stream teaches us how we can create that in one slide, one A3 size paper. So you can see the whole process and you can find it out where we are adding values, where we are not adding value. So the value stream in short is, whenever there is a product for customer, there is a value stream. Or wherever there is a service for customer, there is a value stream. So the value stream capability provide a customer of high highest quality at the right time and at an appropriate price as defined by the customer. So the value is something means what customer is buying. Value is something all the activities required to transform a customer requested in a goods or service and actions currently currently required to bring a product or service through a design flow. It means the concept to launch or a production flow from raw material to finished product. So it is a visible tool that helps to document all activities, that helps to fulfill all requested from the customer, why we use value stream, how to see value in a value stream, how to differentiate value and waste, and how to eliminate waste. Right? So the identifying the component of a value stream is more important. So we will start looking at what kind of process data, the icons we use in the value stream, right? We start with there are different kind of data and process box we use in order to make the value stream. The title might start with the different like cutting, sewing, finishing, packing, and it can go more details such as uh, more details like in sewing we can start the process start with shoulder joint or armhole joint or the front shoulder making, front placket making, such as. And you can also identify the number of full-time equivalent number of process owner, like how many operators, uh, how many cutting department manpower, how many people in production planning, how many manpower in shipping and finishing. So all we can start with the process data box. Finally, there are information flow icons. Information is vital to any business. So in value stream, we can add different businesses. First, you need to identify your customer and supplier in terms of what information flow you want to implement it. And you can also indicate the flow of an order. And this would be an order coming to you from a supplier. And finally, there is pure information. This could be by electronic way, email, uh, SMS, or these days many apps like Telegram and WhatsApp. So these all could be a data, and those are typically identified using a jagged line in value stream. So all these components will be used within value stream maps. Although value stream mapping is still a relatively new practice for you, so you might see some variation, but the ones that I saw will be the most common. So how many types of value stream? There are three main types of value stream map, or I would say at the three different stages we can use value stream. First is process level. Start from admin, HR, sourcing, merchandising, those processes. And another can be factory level. Start from when we receive fabric, and from then and there is moving to the cutting department, then go to sewing. Uh, After sewing, go to the ironing, finishing, packing. So those are at the factory level. And there is enterprise level. Enterprise level means if you have more than one factories, then you can go through those enterprise level value stream. If you have more than one factory, so each factory can be included in one value stream mapping. So it is created through a flow diagram. If you might see the flow diagram in your organization, like once you receive any raw material, what is the next flow? It's similar to that, but little bit more elaborated way in value stream mapping. So it is important because it provides industrial engineers with a big picture view. It helps understand where waste is happening within or between the processes. It also helps align the departments. It helps align the organization of the process, and waste can happen not just in terms of material but also in terms of information. So the value stream is important part playing in lean manufacturing. There are different icons we use in value stream, like a dedicated process flow box, the icon of supermarket, or icon of WIP, MRP or ERP if we have in the system, Kanban. If you familiar with the lean concept, there is a production Kanban or withdrawal Kanban. It's a signal system, and there is a queue system. If you have a push system or pull system, so if you are following push system, you can use the queue icon where you have the schedule inventory, and there's a process icon such as production control department, production lead time, processing time, and there is timeline material symbols such as inventory, Kanban post, load labeling, shipment by different transportation, manual material movement such as pull or withdrawal, and the warehouse icon, external and internal movements, and push and without push material movement. So there are so many icons we can apply and use in lean manufacturing, in lean value stream mapping. And there are information icons such as who is our supplier or customer, electronic information flow, production Kanban, signal Kanban, and manual information flow. First in, first out, we use for the inventory movement. Any goods come first, they must go out first. This concept in lean is very important, especially for the industries like food industry, uh, pharmaceutical industry. So the first in, first out concept helps in lean manufacturing, and there is sequential pull. First in, first out in terms of the sequence, batch sizes in retailing industry, and there is manual or verbal info in the information system. Later, I will share one screenshot once I over this webinar. So the question before starting value stream, we need to ask why value stream is why value stream map is important for our organization. What are the different symbols we can use it based on our business process flow, based on our situation, based on who is owner of the process flow, and what is our business model. Introducing different flow system and factory layouts. At the most logical level, all production system can be described as a transformation process that convert resources into useful goods and services. To affect change, common resources such as labor, manpower, capital, the machinery and equipment, material, and so on and so forth, and space such as land, businesses, building structure, and so on, So these resources are referred to as factors of production by economists, and they typically referred to as labor, capital, and land. Right? All kind of resources. How many manpower, how much money in terms of capital, and how much space we are using. So they have been doubled, or we use 5M, right, by production managers. 5M, like man, machine, method, material, money. So these all 5M are resources which we use in any uh, product creation. In garment industry, there are different production systems and factory layouts. In simple word, a garment production system is a way of fabric being converted into a garment, right? So the production systems are named according to the various factors, like number of machine are used to make a garment, machine layout, total number of operators or uh, tailors involved to sew a complete garment. Yeah, first in, first out, used in pharma and food industry. Yes, thanks. Thanks for your comment, Mr. Akash. So the production system are named according to the various factors, like number of machine are used to make a garment, machines layout, and total number of operators. As in the fashion industry involved, and demand of ready-made garments have been increased, especially our after COVID-19. The need of mass production system become essential way to meet the market demand. Simply because the tailoring shops are not able to produce the volume, so we need to go bulk production in terms of meet the demand. That's why so many developing countries now coming, the number of manufacturing factories become higher. So what kind of production system we had in the nature of value stream map in the garment industry? The first is make through system. Make through system is something, the one manpower is making the complete garment, right? So in the value stream, there will be no different processes like we start each step in the garment, or any like automobile. The whole car must be assembled by one person. So that is make through system. It's not so common these days, but of course in small level, when you go to market, if you want something custom made, then you can follow the make through system, and you can apply the value stream map. Make through system we also can use when our order quantities are very less, like we are doing sampling. So if sample making, we mostly go through make through system. So if you want to do value stream mapping for sampling department, please go ahead and do value stream for make through system. In terms of bulk production, we go progressive bundle systems. Some of the production systems run in the bundle system. 10 pieces or 20 pieces run through the sewing line or manufacturing process place. So the progressive bundle system is a kind of traditional production system we rely for so long before lean, of course. So that has been widely used in apparel industry for many decades, and still today in many developing countries who did not adopted lean and following the traditional path. So in this system, bundles of garments parts are moved in sequence from one sewing machine or one sewing operator to the next. Each worker receive a bundle of the unfinished garment and perform a single operation. Like if somebody doing shoulder, they only attach the shoulder seam and move to the next. So after finish of his or her work on a bundle, they are retied the bundle and passed to the next operator. So each production bundle system task is given a target time. Uh, if you are from I background, you might know SMB or SAM, which provide by the I department. So SAM means a standard allowed minute for one operation, how much standard time we can allow to the manpower or operator. So the manpower and operator, that standard time come from the motion study. Each motion have different defined time. If you are familiar with the GSD or Pro SMB, so they teach us each motion we do, there is a standard time. So that concept we apply to derive the SMB or SAM. And bundle sizes could be vary, start from 2 pieces up to 100 pieces. It depend on how big our uh, how how uh, how big our cut panels or the process is. And the next is section. There is some glitch. Sorry for interruption. Okay. Next is section production system. It's run by section. Like we do collar in one section, then it's moved to the front and back before we assemble each different product into one. Like collar curve, collar and sleeve curve, packet. So all small components we do in section. Then it's moved to assemble at one places. This is better than the uh, progressive bundle system. Some kind of designs we can apply this. And there is third kind of production system, which is modular system. You might have seen many hanging system uh, running in the module. So module system involve like 4 to 17 manpower or operator. They're working and sitting together to produce a finished garment. They work as a team or module, and each team members work on more than one operation. So this is kind of multitasking. Yeah, WIP means work in progress. Work in progress. How much work in progress we have in bundle system, right? So modular production system mostly run with the group of people. There are one person who is highly skilled and they do many operations together. So this is more effective than the progressive bundle system or section production system. Also, we have possibility of less waste, less defect in modular production system. Then the last is which have been getting benefited by the lean is overhead production system. We also call UPS system, unit production system. So in unit production system, uh, it is a flexible material handling system that requires a computerized overhead transportation to move the garment components automatically, or if it's automobile, so it's move all the automobile parts on the hanging system from one workplace to the next according to the predetermined sequence. So we set the sequence and it's moving. And all above, hi Navi, thanks for joining. And overhead system improves the work efficiency and product quality. In the fast moving fashion and apparel industry, it is highly essential, especially when we thinking about the lean manufacturing concept. So all above production system can be further defined by flow, the channel of the movement or material movement that occurs during the process both physical flow of the material and work in process and finished goods, as well as the flow of information uh, in the inevitable paperwork company that accompany the physical flow. So many production system, it's run through like I issue, I sign, merchandiser need to sign, then material can move. But the unit production system is a computerized system. It's a real time tracking of the material movement. So it's very effective. So the leading question in leans, uh, let me know if it's true or false. The lines in a value stream connecting the different process are all the same. They refer to a single flow of production from the one process to another. So if I say lean value stream map is referred to the single flow of production. Am I right or wrong? Thank you very much. And thanks for your comments. Uh, so there are, it can be false, right? So lean value stream not always about only single flow of production. It can be because there is a safety buffer system in terms of movement of the material. So lean is not only about the one piece flow. In the process, we can also define the safety buffer to handling any machine breakdown or absenteeism of the worker. So each critical operation we can identify in the value stream in terms of define how much standard inventory we want to allocate as a process owner. So some critical operation we keep 1 hour inventory that we call safety stock, safety buffer. So it's not always like one piece flow, like it's a buzzword in the industry now. Let's go one piece flow, one piece flow. So it's not only one piece flow, there is defined inventory in between the process, which is very helpful in lean manufacturing, especially when you are adopting at the initial stage. There are different flow system in different factory layouts. In a line, items or parts move through different systems. It is critical or crucial to understand these different systems and how they work in order to establish an accurate value stream process flow. So, two concepts are very essential in lean. First is establish the pull system, because the lean core concept is you must follow the customer demand. How much customer want, you only do that. So if customer order A, you follow their order and design your process according to that. So that we call pull system. uh, right. So if a pull system is driven by the customer requirement, for example, material is moved through a factory only when needed to fill a customer order, or in some factories, an anticipated order. You get the order first, and then you planning according to the buyer order, and then you design your process. Today will be our start date, and this is our everyday production target, and based on that we plan the manpower resources to meet that. So we establish basically production kanban by following the pull system or signal kanban. So a standard signal in the factory, for example, a kanban card or a container. So one containers move, then the next container come to fill that. You might see the supermarket. When you go to the market, all the racks in the supermarket always have the limited amount of inventory. So if they maintain 100 piece of milk container, the next day when you visit that supermarket, You again say in the morning there is 100. So there is filling signal for fill up that order. So that's what signal Kanban is. However, many companies use Kanban in conjunction with their computerized material system, right? Like MRP system, right? Material requirement planning. MRP system, in MRP system, computer anticipate future needs of material and ensure those materials and parts and components are available. The Kanban system controls the actual flow of those materials, right? So all these activity supports a just-in-time philosophy for all operation. So pool creates just-in-time concept. Whenever, whatever we need, it should be there. So just-in-time concept in lean manufacturing play very essential part. The purchasing department buys materials and supplies only as they are needed. The logistic department sends products into the order only when it's needed, right? And more time needs to determine by the customer orders. The obvious advantage of a pull system is to cost saving and realize with lower inventory level how much uh, goods we can put in the process flow and how much efficiency or output we can receive with the minimal inventory in the process, minimum WIP. It's not only that, it's also goes beyond that. Like better inventory control will limit the impact of any quality issues you will have. So the best way to initiate a pull approach is to start a small, keep it simple, using one product or one process. You apply, go step by step. Start with the one line, then you can go forward with more by using single piece flow and or one piece flow. As I explained earlier, single piece or one piece flow, it doesn't mean all your process must have only one piece. You can also design the processes with the safety inventory. So every practice in lean value stream manufacturing intended to support a just-in-time inventory, which means you move inventory only when it is needed. And one of the building blocks of lean inventory management is the concept of one piece flow. Now, don't let the name fools you like one piece flow. Most people define one piece flow as processing one item throughout the factory from start to finish. This certainly is the ideal situation, and some industries like garment manufacturer have been working on this goal for many years. But some companies define the term one as one customer order rather than one unit of product. So one customer at a time. You can start with this. One customer, one design, one style. Start with the uh, one process, one sewing line first. In fact, one piece flow is often referred to as continuous flow manufacturing. In other words, there is no batching, no bundle of the product. With batching, a machine will produce a certain number of product before sending to the next workstation. For example, uh, if the company make product by case, material will move from one workstation to the next in batches of like 10 to 12 units. This means that each unit of inventory sits at each workstation until the entire batch is processed. With batching, inventory begins to accumulate throughout the factory, which with continuous flow, each item or each order moves as soon as it is completed, which keeps inventory from building up between the workstation. From an inventory management view, this is very important benefit. of one piece flow, which helps to reduce, in lean we call muda, waste. It's a Japanese word of how many waste in the process. The Japanese word for any waste that is created by having non-value added process steps. Right? If you have many quality issues or process is not stable, you will face below situation, such as your production line will constantly stop in the flow. By following one piece flow, if any problem come, your whole line will impact. That one will be immediate consequences of using one piece flow. But in long term, it will help you to reduce the uh, defected or infected WIP in the process, right? So how we can create lean value stream map? There are basically 8 process. The first is create a value stream map which is existing now, the present value stream mapping, right? So the first step in creating value stream, I would say lean value stream, is identify the product you want to look at. First, to identify one product to start with value stream. You are making 10 products, find which one product will help you most. If you focus on that product, you can follow the 80-20 rule. Which 20% of your product, which makes more revenue or sales uh, in your organization. So by using 80-20 rule, select one process and start making value stream mapping. How you can select that product? It will be based on volume, right? If that pieces you are making like throughout the year or throughout the month, select that because that is your hot selling product. Or you can also select based on the complexity, how complex that process is. You want to focus on complexity, you want to simplify the complex processes in your product. Or number 3, how you can select is based on the sales, which product is making more profit for you. So if you improve that process, that will be highly beneficial, right? So first step is identify which product you want to look at. Next is identify the strategic needs of the process flow, why you want to improve that process, why is very important, right? And step 3 is you need to draw what is your existing process flow. We start from once order confirm, how many process that product go in order to complete and deliver, right? Step number 4 in value stream is after creating the current state, what you want to improve, which process not adds value, which process creates waste. If you take out that, it will not impact in terms of that process improvement, but it will impact in terms of your revenue generation, increasing sales, reducing unnecessary inventory. And step number 4 is draw your desired map future state by considering improving the efficiency of the flow, right? And number 5 is create a detailed action plan after that. Once you know what you do in future, what you want to change in that existing process, then you create detailed action plan. You can follow the new tools that PDCA tool, right? Plan, do, check, action. Plan, check, and act in lean manufacturing. Or you can appoint the process number 6. After you created this, you can appoint when one lean value stream manager who know the process, who can coach the existing employees in order to improve all the processes, do the Kaizen concept, another lean tool. Later in next week, maybe I will discuss about the lean Kaizen, how we can implement Kaizen in our existing lean process, right? So these are some of the steps which we should use in our lean manufacturing, and we must improve. We have 15 minutes left. I will start the Q&A session. If you want to ask any questions, please put in the comment box. We are approaching to the end of our session. We have 15 minutes more. So we will have the Q&A session. And the last is how we can, what questions we should ask before we try to improve the future statement. So we can balance the 9 questions we should ask for the future state map. First is where we can balance our cycle time with the takt time, where we can connect processes through one piece flow. Question number 3, where must we pull with Kanban to maintain the flow? And will we pull sequential pull or based on the feed refill system, right? Question number 5, we can ask for where we will schedule the production, or we call pacemaker, like our heart pumping. It's tell us we need to breathe. To that, in our manufacturing also, we need to identify what is our pacemaker, right? uh, I need to put my computer on charging. Give me a second. Sorry for interruption. Okay, so we were discussing what 9 questions we should ask for the future lean future state map. First is where we can balance cycle time with takt time. Cycle time means one piece, how much, one process, how much time is taking. Takt time means for making one piece, how much customers plan time, how much time we need in order to meet the customer demand. That is takt time, right? Second question is where we can connect our process. We have many process. Which process we can connect with the one piece flow? Of course, we can't connect the whole process with one piece flow because we need to go with safety and buffer stocks. So we need to identify that after making the current state map. Question number 3 is where must we pull with the Kanban? Where we can put the pull system. Pull system is the next operator when asked, then only we provide. Not by push. We make and keep pushing in the process. It will create unnecessary inventory, which is a waste. Question number 4, where we can put sequential pull, like first in, first out. First product go there, that need to move first, and the second product will move second. Question number 5, where we can schedule the production, right? Many places we need to schedule, like cutting department, they need to follow their target. Then only sewing must have uh, the appropriate inventory in terms of thing. Question number 7, where we can build quality in process, quality at the needle point, right? In Japanese word we call jidoka. How we can create jidoka? one of the classic example we can take for banking, right? The process of how we withdraw money. If you remember the process, like a few years back when we supposed to go and take out money from ATM, what we were doing, we take the ATM card, put in the ATM machine, and put the money, and then money come out. We take the money, and then the last process was ATM card come out. So what is wrong in that process? We insert the card, we put our code and money how much we want, money come out, and then last process is ATM card come out, then you can take and go back. So in that process what happens, mostly the customer forget the ATM card in the uh, ATM machine. They take the money, go back home, then they realize, oh, I forget to take the card from the ATM machine. Then banking sector have changed this process. Now, if you go to the ATM machine, first you insert the ATM card, type how much money you want, right? So money not come out, ATM card come out as a second step. So you take the ATM card, then last process is money come out. So by just changing the process, now nobody forget the ATM card in the ATM machine because the ATM card come first, money come last. How that happen? By they have go through all the process and they brainstorm what we can do, how we can bring the jidoka in the banking process flow. So by doing that, now that problem entirely vanished. Nobody forget the ATM card. Just following, just changing the sequence of the process of withdrawing money from the ATM. So that's what classic example of understanding the lean concept and implementing in our process. And the number 8 question is, which process have losses like non-value added and must be removed? Question number 8 is, you need to question in the current state map is how many process have non-value added which not adds value by doing that. And the last number is what, who, and when detailed action plan. I'll post these questions in the comment box so you can highly benefit by using value stream mapping, right? So these are the 9 questions I wanted to tell you about the lean, uh, how, why we should get serious about lean manufacturing in our process. Hope you had benefited from this session, and thank you very much for joining live session. We have 7 minutes, so I'm open for any question, any comments you want to ask. Please go ahead. Any questions you have, please ask in the comment box so I can reply you on time. Any queries? We have 4 minutes more. Okay, that's it. Thanks for your all comments. And yes, there will be recording. Okay, that's it. Good night from Cambodia. Uh, Stay healthy, stay safe in this COVID situation, and let's join together. Please follow me on LinkedIn and YouTube. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Thanks.